Hi, Jackie Cation here. You're listening to The Dork Forest. You know the websites, dorkforest.com, thedorkforest.com if you like a determiner. JackieCation.com has everything. Both of my podcasts, all of the stand-up stuff, the new album, links to YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all the things. But so, I think, does dorkforest.com, where you can look at old videos of different shows. Anyway, if you want to support the show, tell people about the show, review it on iTunes, thumbs it up on Pandora or Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. I appreciate that. You can donate. You can donate monthly. PayPal lets you do that. You can also do my Venmo if you like. It's at Jackie Cation, absolutely everywhere. And my email address is jackie@jackiecation.com, and that's what the PayPal is. The PayPal link is on jackie.cation.com and dorkforest.com. And go to any of them. Thanks for listening. There's merch, there's stand-up, there's tour guide. You know, you can find out where I'm touring. This is getting long, so let's get into the show. I think that's it. Come on out, you guys.
Shameless confessions
about our obsession.
will make us laugh and smile.
I swear I had guests.
So let's explore the dork forest.
Chris, Guy, Okatsuko. Come on out through this door. There it is. It's happening, you guys. Hooray! Oh my God, anywhere in the world, I can get 22 people to come out and see a live Dork Forest. Welcome to the program, everybody. The Dork Forest is a podcast about what people love. And we are at the Moontower Comedy Festival in Austin, Texas, which I know, we all know, is the music capital of the world, because everyone keeps telling me. And then, other than that, there's been some sort of smoke in this room. You guys, did you notice the cloud of weird smoke? No? All right. I have the politest audience in the world. A lot of just nodding going on, you guys. All right. So, today on the Dork Forest, very exciting. We're going to talk. Whoever emailed me first got to pick sort of the topic. I went with a broad topic, one that we can all enjoy. And so today's Dorkdom is going to be different food things. That's right. We're going to talk about our favorite foods to make, our favorite foods to order, our favorite foods to have someone else make for us, a rabbit hole of food, because we all eat and food is fun. Anyway, sitting to my left is the delightful stand-up comic and drop queen, Okatsuko. And that's right.
Thank you.
Okatsuko. I can do the first name easy, but it's Okatsuko Comedy. It's at Okatsuko Comedy. It will be in the notes. Everyone should find her and enjoy that. And then Ryan stands next to her, and it's adorable. And her grandmother is also often pictured, right?
Thanks so much, Jackie. Yeah, shout out to my whole family, I guess. Yeah.
Yay! Next to Okatsuko is the talented, essentially the son of Yuba City. Please welcome Mr. Guy Branham. Mr. Guy Branham, ladies and gentlemen.
Good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Local, and his handle is at Guy Branham. That's what it's catchy. And so finally, but not finally, because he's your local hero. Everybody, please welcome to the show, Mr. Chris Cubas.
Hey.
Couple of C's, Chris, and then Cubas, C-U-B-A-S. Welcome to the program. Okay, so let me tell you this. I would like to know, you guys can riff, you guys can talk over each other. I think there's going to be several tracks. We can blend them. Like, I have favorite foods. Right, Chris, you came up with a topic. What were you picturing when you said, do you like to cook?
Yes, that's a relatively recent.
Is it lockdown?
Yes, it's more my fiance.
Congratulations.
Made me live as an adult.
Okay.
I grew up I was just a broke douchebag for too long, so I just ate all my food was like.
Quick question: mattress on the floor?
Oh, hardcore.
Oh.
But box spring and mattress both on the floor, so it's like a little raised. You can't. I think that's good because you can't hide stuff under it. Normally, if I had a bed, there'd be a lot of chicken bones and shit. But I just ate like garbage. I ate like an animal, just whatever you could find, or just add water to. You know
so did your fiance introduce like a headboard into your life? Do you have a frame?
For sure. We live like humans.
You live like
now,
kings
like
now?
Real nice human beings.
Adult humans? Oh.
Yeah. We have a house with a yard and a dog and a.
Oh, there you go.
Wow, okay,
Yes,
now you're just
I mean, we
showing
don't-
off.
Look, it's rent, and trust me, I live here, so my rent just went up $500 this
Wow.
month. This next
Yeah.
lease.
Right.
But
So
so
she
now
wanted you to-
she's like, you can't live like this. You're literally can't. You're going to die. So now we eat real food, and I do most of the cooking, which is nice.
Oh, okay. So what do you enjoy? What do you enjoy cooking sort of the best?
Or
What are you really good at?
So she's from New Orleans, so I've made a ton of I can make a real good gumbo.
That's some
jambalaya,
pressure.
all that stuff. And I've made you got to make a roux. That's like an hour. You got to stir that thing. I watched a video of what's his name, Emerald, and he was like, you got to your roux is right if you can drink 2 beers while you're making it. And then I was like, well, that's 9 minutes into this roux. I'm gonna be doing this for much longer than that.
We can go to a meeting later. Anyway, let's go. What?
No, I'm learning so much. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're
Emerald is the BAM guy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Is
Takes
he
me
still
back.
alive?
Takes me back. Is he?
He's still very much alive.
okay?
Yeah.
Are they current videos that you're watching?
This might have been old, but he's still doing a lot. I'm sure there's new ones.
Right. The recipe hasn't changed.
Right,
for
that's-
roux.
yeah,
So
for
I mean, you're
sure.
not wrong. So are you doing fish? Are you doing shrimp? Are you?
So I'll do like a shrimp, chicken, andouille, do the triple. I make jambalaya. During the pandemic, I went hard. I started making I learned the mother sauces. I really committed to learning how to cook.
Okay.
And then I tried to commit to learning how to bake, and that's science. That's a different.
It is science.
That's a different skill set. When you're cooking, you can just be like, "Oh, this looks good." Throw a little bit in that.
Okay.
You do that, and when you're baking, you might set something on fire. It's a very different thing.
It might be dense, whatever you.
I tried to make a Gillette. It's like a tart, and somehow it broke. When I took it out of the oven, it had broken down back into its component parts. They were like, how's there butter on this tray that just came out of the oven? That doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so but jambalaya, what? So the spices on that, besides your salt and pepper and chili.
You start with your Trinity. That's everything in New Orleans cooking. So onions, bell pepper, carrots.
Oh, okay.
Carrots, celery? I'm drawing a
Celery.
blank.
Celery.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Guy. I apologize. I appreciate the
No, that's
the help
fine.
with
So
that
do
one.
you work from a recipe?
Always. That's why I don't understand people who say they can't cook. It's just instructions.
Follow.
Just
Yeah.
do the thing it says.
Okay.
It's really not that hard.
And are you using any kind of a rice maker, or are you making rice on the stove?
Oh, I got that Instant Pot.
Oh, you got an Instant Pot?
Yeah. So that's a game changer for sure. Because that's
Is yours got a nice design on it?
No, I didn't get the Star Wars one.
We got the
I still have a woman that lives in my house. She doesn't let me do
We
everything.
have the Star Wars. It looks like R2-D2. And, anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're making a rice
So-
in the Instant Pot.
So yeah, depending on the thing, because I make a lot of rice. So we started a thing when the pandemic started called Red Beans Austin, where we make shout out
Oh
to some
wow!
people.
I think a couple
Some
of
people
are
know,
part
so
of
we
it.
make free red beans and rice every Sunday for people. If you need a meal, they can sign up. We make 50 plates. We have made 6,300 plates of red beans and
That's
rice.
neat.
Hey,
Yeah, you
good
can applaud
work.
for that.
So I make a lot of
rice
rice.
cooker.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I use the Instant Pot as a rice cooker. 'Cause we use I make a couple pounds of that every Sunday. So yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
That is really cool. Is anybody else affecting change at a grassroots level?
Guy.
Just Chris Cubas. All right, Hi, Guy Branham. What's your cooking situation? Are you cooking?
Yes. I, at the beginning of the pandemic, I purchased the finest rice maker known to man. We're talking
is that?
Zoji Rushi here. Did I get the one that you can make mochi with? No. It's just a straightforward rice cooker, but it will bake a cake if you need it to. And so I am a fat man and I enjoy cooking and food too much. And so it is all about engaging in the love and not engaging too far. So what I have been doing recently is I have been meal prepping my lunch. My lunch every day of the week is African red stew with chicken. And I have just been playing, and once a week I make 8 servings of African red stew, so once every 8 days, and a cup of cooked rice. And I've just been exploring and learning. I recently got crayfish powder so that I could up the umami on my red stew. And it's, this way I get to do something that is fun and creative every week, but it's not me just deciding I have to make profiteroles.
Wow.
Is that a spicy stew?
Yes, it's It's Scotch bonnet peppers.
Nope, I'm out.
Red.
What is it?
I like my asshole too much. I'm not eating none of that.
Scotch bonnet peppers, red peppers, tomatoes, and then too much ginger. Like, too much ginger really changing the game and had forced me to question how I approach cooking.
Is it fresh ginger that you are grating?
Yeah, it's like put it all into a blender.
Okay.
And then maybe
Like
some
a paste?
Yeah, make like a paste, and then cook some onions in red palm oil.
Okay.
Pour that in. Maybe put some cloves and grains of paradise in. I like bought grains of paradise, which is like an African like peppery thing.
You got to find a place.
Yeah, you got to find a place. Well, we got the internet now.
That is true. They will mail you anything.
Yes.
You don't have to go to World Market anymore.
No, but it is fun. As the white on the panel, oh, do I love showing up to a market not my own and just like, figuring out what I can appropriate, and then also having that line where you're like, I'm not going past that line.
But it's you enjoying it at home. That's
What kind of
you're
chicken
not
are you
selling
using?
it for $40 per bowl.
Right. You're not colonizing. Like, you're not repurposing it and taking it to India and introducing the potato.
Right. Well, there is always the danger of you're going to start explaining to people how to do it properly. But the fun thing is like, we all know Jenny Yang, and I get to know very deeply that if I go too far, Jenny Yang will be there to be like, stop.
Jenny Yang, who knew? She's in charge. She'll bring it back.
But Jenny Yang, just like white people at Bon Appetit did a video about here's how to enjoy pho, and Jenny pushed back and was like, maybe not.
Right.
But it is boneless, skinless chicken breast because that is what the gay man who tells me how to work out tells me I am allowed.
Well, I'll be the other Asian person with bangs on your other shoulder, being like, but that tasted pretty good. I'll be like, but
Yeah, eat all the pho you want. It's
I'll be that person.
So you're using skinless, boneless chicken breast, which I believe is an abomination against
It is.
God
Look,
and man.
at the end of the day, fucking chicken thighs. How did we as a country say, oh, chicken breast is a better answer than chicken thighs? Chicken thighs will do fucking anything for you.
I blame it on that TV show that Rory Scovel's on. Nothing? Okay. So,
No, I do get cranky. Like, I can't help it. I'm a very nice person, usually very chill. But like, when I do find myself getting cranky a little bit when people get like too excited about a chicken breast.
Yeah.
That's when I'm like, what?
if you've taken the chicken bones and the skin off of it, that's why you have to mail order grains of paradise. Because otherwise you could just cook the food in the oven and then eat the chicken like Gollum, and just like nom nom nom, and you've already won.
During the pandemic,
the whole thing.
there was a wing shortage, and Wingstop started doing thigh stop. They started just doing chicken thighs in place of
that's
wings.
amazing.
1,000 times better.
That sounds succulent and
use
amazing.
the whole,
Yeah.
exactly. I'm always just trying to get dark meat.
Trying to get a 12-piece thighs, eat them by myself on my couch.
Yeah, if you eat meat and you're only eating breast, grow up. Okay? What are you, 12?
Exactly. Just do 10 more crunches. It's fine. And so what do you enjoy cooking?
Well, I didn't know I was sitting here with renowned chefs. Okay, I was spices I've never heard of. Y'all had a language going where you're like, that one? No, I like my asshole too much. Things are going over my head.
Right, I don't know that pepper either.
You're throwing in Gollum references, and I'm just trying to like keep up with truly all of you. Meanwhile, this whole time I've been trying to open this water bottle that's on this. It's impossible to open. All of these are. Oh, thank you so much. You already opened it.
Yeah,
for
it's
me?
untouched by human hands.
Oh yeah, I am intimidated, and I did scream because you always get this is why representation matters, It was a rice cooker that is a Japanese brand. That's the only reason I screamed, and then the rest of it went over my head. I was like, what is that stew, Anyway, this is all to say, everyone, these two developed skills. I think skills. A lot of people developed skills during the pandemic. I did the opposite. I think I lost some. And I don't know how people were like becoming better people. I truly lost the abilities to do things, and so I didn't learn a new recipe like that. No. It was just like spaghetti with meat sauce. That my husband taught me when we first started dating. And it's
so you can make. When it's your turn to make a meal? What is it? Is it spaghetti and meat
Spaghetti
sauce?
with meat sauce.
So
I just said it.
You're like, I boil some water. Do you put a little salt in
We
it, or do
can
you
try
just
to make this sound fancy the way they yeah,
What
it's
is the
just
prep?
how you picture it. Yeah.
You're opening a jar. Are you doing any sort of are you taking a ground meat and pan frying it at all with anything, an onion?
No.
Okay.
No. Oh, is that a?
Is it vegetarian? Are you doing a vegetarian situation?
I'm not a vegetarian. That's why I get chicken breast. It's my enemy.
Right,
You know,
right.
I prefer
Right,
thigh.
but with the meat sauce.
With the meat sauce. Yeah, it's
Where are you getting the meat sauce?
oh, just any market. Really, it's a very relatable dish. You know, truly, any
It
of you
isn't
can
that.
do it. Just like ground anything. Ground meat. If you don't eat meat, ground. Tempeh,
Yeah.
and then put it in the pan. Open the. Oh, you really listening? You know this. You know this. No, let's. Okay,
Some
fine.
people
Let's
don't know.
make it a game. Okay, Chris, what's the next step?
You said open so I'm assuming that was going to be jar.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're going with jar.
Yeah,
What's your jar of sauce?
I do like vodka sauce because I like a creamy.
Oh, you like it?
I'm a creamy bitch. Yeah, I love a dairy. I will put a lot of cheese on it too.
Okay.
But yes, yeah, and then what do you do, guy? How do you make pasta? He's like, I make it from scratch. I take the dough. I go to Italy. I meet a man halfway on a boat. I don't know. Anyway,
It was
yeah.
like how Churchill and Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
That's right.
It was
That's
in
what
the middle
Theo
of the Atlantic, and then they exchanged pasta.
Yeah. So
That's how
romantic.
Mussolini was defeated. Anyway, so what you're saying is that you're just opening a box of pasta, and then you're getting some ground meat and putting it in, and then pouring in a jar of tomato sauce or the spaghetti sauce.
Yeah.
And sort of mixing it up, and then saying, "Hey, dinner is ready," and then a couple of plates come out, and then you put it all together. Is that correct? And then
you might be making some assumptions with those plates. Is there a brand? Is there a brand of sauce that you like?
I mean, I really, truly, again, it's a very relatable dish. You just go, whatever you can afford for the day, you kind of grab.
Okay.
Now,
and
what
you put
kind
it
of
in your-
are you doing? Are you shredding your own cheese? or are you buying a Parmesan that is pre-shredded and then just sort of sprinkling it? What do you?
Shocking.
I don't know, man. I'm not food shaming you.
Shred?
It sounds delicious. Is what I enjoy.
Like with
pasta
a grater.
Yeah, if you had a box grater, you might do it.
You know
or you
what's
might
cool?
go to Ralph's.
You know what's
and-
cool? Yeah.
What? Yeah.
No, so they have all kinds of cheese. You got the block cheese, where
Sure.
you got
Triangles.
triangles.
Yep.
You got sliced cheese, and then you got shredded cheese, and then so I kind of just get that.
You get that? And is it a Parmesan or is it a mozzarella? What are we looking at?
I like 3. What is
Oh,
it?
the 3 cheese?
Yeah, 3 cheeses.
A 3 cheese.
Remember,
it
I
turns
like a
out
bunch
you're
of cheese.
9.
I am. I couldn't open this water. I didn't pick up any skills.
There's a
I
Lunchable
lost
in your
some.
future, but there's no shame in enjoying a pre-made. Are you kidding me? You know what I like? Chef Boyardee canned raviolis. I used to
yeah.
just open the can cold. It isn't.
Guy's reaction.
No, you don't have to be proud of me. But there's no reason to. It's not shocking. I just, I think I stopped doing it when I was about 35 or 40. But here's.
You said Chef Boyardee.
Chef Boyardee. It was, and then I found out that my taste buds have been shot off in the Franco-American War by Chef Boyardee.
Sure,
Weirdly
sure.
enough, he charged the hill.
Yeah, again, I'm the least chef here, but I draw the line at Chef Boyardee.
I will say this:
that I will judge you on. No, I'm just kidding. No,
a canned pasta.
I
that's
like
gone
a
too
La
far.
Quinta Inn at like midnight when there's always like a tiny market.
Oh, yeah.
They always
yeah.
have a Chef Boyardee. They
Yeah, they
always
do.
have the classics, Hot Pocket. I'm there. That's when I.
Right. That's sometimes you got to order a food because you've
Like
come back
outside?
from the. You've come back from the show, and that's all there is there's just a weird wall of Doritos, and then you're
Oh,
like,
I'm
I
saying
could
I
just
hit
get
that
a
wall
pint
hard.
Oh, you hit that wall hard?
Yeah. Hot Pocket and Lean Pocket is so wild. Negative. It's just negative effect,
You got to do it like an old pro. You stock up early at the free breakfast. So you got to be okay with people looking at you like a monster because you're walking up with your shirt like this full of cereal boxes.
Who's looking at
and
you
little,
like a monster?
lots
We're
of
all
people.
equals here. We're all at La Quinta. And
Yeah.
Right. Who
you
doesn't
know?
love cup of waffle over at the Hampton?
Okay, on the subject of a La Quinta Inn, Hampton Inn free breakfast that comedians are enjoying, I want there to be waffle batter and a waffle maker. I will not make the waffle because it is an area of chaos and disgusting, but I want that waffle smell to be engaging me for my morning.
Right, I'm not eating it, but I do like that others are willing to go there. And I don't know if you have seen the pancake. There's a pancake one now that all it is a conveyor belt and it goes underneath, and then there is pancake batter, and then there are silver dollar pancakes in other people's future. I want a hard-boiled egg at those places just because they've made them, and you can't really ruin a hard-boiled egg, and it's sort of the perfect food for a cup of waffle breakfast. It's plenty. I don't want a stale bagel. I like that they offer many different things, but I do only want the hard-boiled egg.
got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
The food that I will make, and I will chime in, is the simplest food. The simplest. My stepmother hated to cook, and so there is a chicken recipe that is a very basic chicken recipe. It is called the chicken of the gods because it is a perfectly cooked entire chicken. If you are vegetarian or vegan, I'm sorry, because what this is you go to your you get a good chicken. Choose a chicken that chose to die, right? Just get at Whole Foods. There's different steps, not stages.
What is a chicken that chose to die? Really? Is that just one that's born?
Like a stage 3 chicken.
Stage.
Step 3 is what it actually is. But I always think of cancer. Anyway, so.
Oh, like an ill-diseased chicken.
No, you don't want to know.
Like you were gonna die
a step
anyway.
3 chicken. A step 3 chicken is a chicken that is given the option to run around the yard a little bit. Probably doesn't.
Gotcha.
Anyway, but the cage door is open because they say they're free range. That just means the door is open. They could take advantage of it if they wanted, but they're chickens.
Right.
So,
Yes.
So, but here's the scoop. You get the butcher to chop that chicken up. I like to get a whole chicken because I have an unsubstantiated belief that the chicken is fresher than if it has not been pre-cut up and packaged. So then you take the chicken out of the fridge. You get it up to room temperature, or you don't. It doesn't matter. But you take it out and you pat it dry. You line the baking dish with tin foil. You put all the pieces of chicken on it. You kind of dab it with the paper towels if you want. Kind of dry it off a little bit. Salt, pepper, and chopped fresh garlic if you would like. If you enjoy chopped fresh garlic. If you do not, that of course is between you and who hurt you. And but it's just salt, pepper, and garlic. And then you can, if you like, do a little dab of butter on each piece to crisp up the chicken. We're talking 405 in the oven, or it could be 375, but it'll take longer. Or you could 405 to make sure that the skin crisps up nice. Yeah. And you cook that for 45 minutes to an hour. You pull it out, and what you have there is a perfectly cooked chicken. And it is a delight. Then you try not to eat it all of it, as much as you want. What you can do if you want to jazz it up, you go to Ralph's or wherever you go to your grocery store, your Kroger's, your locals, and sometimes they will sell a loaf of bread that is like a rosemary garlic, or one of those loaves of bread that have stuff in them, maybe olives. You rip that up, you put it under the chicken, and what you've done is you've created what I like to call chicken bread. And chicken bread is just bread that has been soaked in chicken schmaltz, and you try not to eat that.
Jeez, wow.
Anyway,
the way you talk about this, how you make this, like I want someone to do that to my body. It's a sauna.
Sexy
I want
times,
bread.
sexy
I want to
times.
lay above bread. Sure. Someone put garlic on me and butter and love me like that.
You go one of those sensory deprivation tanks, and there's chicken bread underneath
Also,
it.
this topic that we chose, right? Like, are we hungry? It's like this is recording right before dinner time.
Right, it is. It is
Like,
at
what
that.
do we do to ourselves?
I know. So, but that is my favorite meal to make. That is very, very simple. And then of course there's usually a rice or a vegetable on the side. You live it up. What about ordering? Now, why do I think, Okatsuko, that there's some DoorDash in your life?
Oh, 100%. When you can only cook one meal, sometimes you want a little, variety.
Sure.
So, yeah, I do that.
Especially during lockdown, right? Where you're just like, I would like someone to deliver Uber Eats or DoorDash or
For sure,
whatever
yeah.
the other ones are.
This is a very, I'm really opening up here, and
I feel.
and like the things that I'm gonna say, maybe some people will hate it and take offense, maybe.
I think that you're really. It feels like we're really getting to know you.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've gotten like Jack in the Box and on DoorDash and
Delivered?
I know,
Jack
and it's
in the Box?
so expensive.
Right. It feels super expensive.
It's really pricey.
Instead of like a drive-through,
Right.
you literally are like, I'm gonna spend $35 for. What do you get at it? I've
To
never
get
been to it.
lukewarm Jack in the Box.
I know, but I
Jack in the
had
Box, someone else is eating some fries out of your bag.
I've never been to a Jack in the Box. What do they?
Ever?
they have
Wait,
burgers,
Jackie,
right?
you've
hold
never
up.
been to a Jack in the Box. You used to drink.
What are you too good for it? Too good for it, Miss
understand.
Boyardee.
One of
Chef Boyardee.
one of the shocking things I learned when I moved to Los Angeles, because I am from a little farm town in Northern California, I thought of Jack in the Box as just another fast food place. And then when I moved to Los Angeles, I was like, oh, it is an indicator of the neighborhood you're in the same way that like White Castle on the East Coast, you're like, uh-oh.
I took a turn, and why? Oh, I guess I'll just stop and get a sack of rats. So
It's true. And out of all the fast food places, Jack in the Box is the most sort of like, they have international taste.
Yes.
They have an egg roll. They have the chicken fajita pita.
My mother's favorite taqueria is Jack in the Box.
Exactly. They have tacos.
this is fascinating. They have different. They
And
have
one
an
time,
egg roll.
One time, yeah, they have an egg roll. They have a chicken teriyaki bowl, I think, yeah. And
I forgot about
Or
the
they
chicken
used to.
fajita pita. That's
Chicken fajita
it's
pita.
real good.
And one time they had the chicken cordon bleu, and that's for my French people. Yeah, and they got rid of it. I wrote a letter to Jack in the Box when I was 19, begging them to bring it back. And I thought maybe like, oh, there weren't enough letters. But then if you look up chicken cordon bleu Jack in the Box, it was like 2006, and then they immediately discontinued it. There are others like me who are just begging, just please bring it back. It was the only thing like that I lived for. Like people say wild things about the chicken cordon bleu. It was so good.
What? How?
anyway,
Wait,
yeah.
chicken cordon bleu, is that chicken and ham and cheese? What is
Yes.
that?
Sure is.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
How did Jack in the Box do it? Did they just
Like
stack
that.
it on top of each other or wrap it all together and then
Ooh, that's sad. I just found a picture of it. This is a review, Jack in the Box chicken cordon bleu sandwich.
Okay.
When I first
It's a
heard about it, I
sandwich.
really wanted to try the Hardee's Monster Thick Burger, but there were two reasons I didn't. There isn't a Hardee's anywhere near me, and I don't have the balls to consume it. I don't know why you're talking about that on a chicken cordon bleu.
Right, chicken cordon bleu.
Yeah.
So is that your favorite fast food restaurant, the Jack in the Box? Like,
It
would that
is.
be your go-to?
Yes, I
Okay.
will. I'll
Some
say
people-
it loud and proud.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
100%.
Do you eat those
yes.
tacos? Those two, like the dollar.
Those are my husband's go-to. Yeah, my husband does those, and then I do the more multi-culti affairs. I do the chicken.
You are
fajita pita.
sophisticated. When I think about
no, I
I think
dip it in ranch.
sophisticated. That's
Yeah.
it. You're like cordon bleu, please.
Right. yeah.
Yes, very glamorous. My husband loves a Taco Bell. That's his favorite. Mine, sadly, really out there. The
Yeah.
squeezy food. It's all squeezy food. All the food comes in guns.
It is kind of squeezy. I didn't think of that.
Yeah,
I was so angry with America. There was the controversy about, oh, Taco Bell's meat is like 70% soy, and everyone was like up in arms, and it's like, isn't that good? Like we got all of America to eat like a meat replacement,
Right.
and nobody knew, and everybody thought it was delicious. Why are we calling this disgusting? And like, why can't we just embrace a good thing?
No, that's
Yes,
a good point.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Subway has a tuna sandwich that the tuna isn't tuna and the bread isn't bread. In Ireland, they're not allowed to call it. They can't sell the same thing. They can't call it bread. There was a whole thing because
There's
it's
too
not.
much yoga mat in it.
It's a lot of people don't know this about Guy Branum. He's actually a spy for Canada. So
He knows it all.
So what is Guy? What's your favorite? What's your guilty pleasure fast food?
I'm either an In-N-Out man or the Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich will sometimes call to me.
Oh, interesting.
yes.
Is it a fried chicken sandwich?
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much.
Which is let's be honest, a politicized piece of food for my people. Like the question of what does your fried chicken sandwich say about you as a queer person? I was always like, Wendy's gives me a spicy chicken sandwich that I can look in the mirror and respect myself, except as a fat person.
Have you ever had the spicy fried chicken sandwich at a Foster's Freeze?
I have never.
Okay, I am told that it is an exceptional spicy chicken sandwich.
Oh, really?
Look forward to it. There's only 3 left in the Los Angeles area, but make it happen.
Jackie Cation, when I lived in Minnesota, I was for the first time in my life aware of the fact that you people have seasonal Dairy Queens. Throughout Minnesota, there are Dairy Queens that stop operation for 8 months out of the year.
What? It's like the McRib?
Yeah, there's no interest in a dilly bar in the dead of February. Everyone's like, it'll be fine. You'll be able to make it till June. And we had a Dairy Queen in my hometown that would close in the winter, and we never knew how they stayed open for the 47 years that they were open. So Chris Cubas, what is your fast food of choice?
There's an intersection that's a walking distance from my house that has a Popeyes, a Taco Bell, a Whataburger, and it used to have a Sonic. R.I.P. The Sonic is now just a bunch of graffiti.
R.I.P.
But the move is chicken from Popeyes, fries from Whataburger, and you can swing through the one parking lot,
You
loop
live
around
like a
into the
king.
next one,
Yeah.
get the Taco Bell drive-thru on the way out for some cinnamon twists. Mwah.
Wow.
Yeah. Trust me.
That's great.
I'm not. This isn't a fat suit. I live like this.
I love that.
Yeah.
And then
And I don't have to worry about driving. It's right there. I get high. It's like an adventure. It's great.
I used to do childcare, and the mom would be like, the kids can have fast food, and I was like, what kind do you want? And they were his brother and sister, and they never agreed. And I was like, we're in a car. We can go to both
This
of them.
work. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, my go-to is weirdly the sausage and egg McMuffin at McDonald's.
That's good.
That is my
Still
favorite.
solid.
It's a pile of grease. It's a hockey puck. I enjoy it.
What's your position on a McGriddle?
I don't enjoy it. Mostly because I don't enjoy. Maple syrup is fine in the tiniest of moderation. I do not enjoy corn syrup. Fake. I might as well. I don't like it.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
perfectly reasonable.
Yeah.
You felt like that we're very defensive about
right,
it.
I got a little defensive
didn't
about
invent the McGriddle. It's okay.
Chris, do you remember in the 1990s when a bunch of law firms got together and started suing cigarette companies about the fact that cigarettes knew that these things did damage and had not warned people about it? Every time I am aware of the McGriddle, I'm like, that's waiting to happen there. Like, that is type 2 diabetes.
Yeah. No, it's like type 4. It's like it's like the next version. But it's great. What you can do is you make a club sandwich out of it. You get 2 McGriddles and you put 1 bun in between, so you get 2 sausage patties. It's good stuff.
Oh, wow.
That's smart.
Yeah. You only do that if you're depressed.
So this is all you have to get it before 11 a.m. still.
Yeah.
Because I forgot about that. What movie was it that like really highlighted that? Maybe it was like Adam Sandler was in it. Big.
Well,
Okay, maybe it
I thought it
happened
was
in
falling
multiple-
down, and I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was falling down too.
Yeah.
Well, it happened to me and my husband where
He killed a lot of people.
we had happened to roll up at like 10:59. I had no idea. I was like, "What? This is so like out of a movie," you know. And this thing happened where my husband got breakfast. He got to get breakfast, and then the digital menu literally disappears. Did you know this? It literally disappears. I was about to order, and he's like, "And you?" And I was like, I was like, "I would like to," and then it disappeared on me. I swear to God. And then it reappears with lunch.
And so you were screwed.
So yeah, my husband got his breakfast, and suddenly, so I had to get a double quarter, like a quarter pounder or something, like a fucking loser, like a fucking first timer.
Right.
Everyone knows this about McDonald's. 11 a.m. Get it in by 11 a.m.
It feels messed up that your husband rang up his food and then was like, she can get herself. I don't have to, her order's different. Separate checks, please.
He got in on time. It was so wild. Where I was like, please, like we know you're there.
Yeah.
We're like, we know breakfast is there because my husband just 20 seconds ago just ordered it. They're like, we cannot.
Just
I was
make
like,
two.
Truly?
Make two of those. How hard is that? Double the order.
You know the bun that maybe you're gonna make for if he ordered two with?
I'm sorry. McDonald's is serving billions of people a day in every country in the world. There must be laws. I believe in the rule of law.
Right. Anarchy will not serve any of us. And mostly not breakfast.
You're right,
after 11
guy.
a.m.
You're right.
So, what would you have gotten over at McDonald's? What is your McDonald's breakfast of choice?
I
Is
don't
it the
know.
McGriddle?
I was needed
it was just
time.
the one option.
Yeah,
it was
I
just
wanted
the
to
one
look
day.
around. Yeah.
Does Jack in the Box have breakfast?
Oh,
They do.
does it? Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. All day. Breakfast
Do they have
all
the
day.
breakfast of the world? Is there a
don't-
chance to get kanji? What's happening? Is it? I want
Do you remember the stoner boxes at Jack in the Box? Jack in the Box leaned into their identity and they're like, we're gonna have the most fucked up
Yes.
food imaginable.
They're called munchie meals.
Yeah.
Really?
Late night munchie meals.
It was like a dare and it was fascinating, but like I didn't want to touch it, you know?
Yeah. Name like greasy food.
Some pork belly.
Okay, put pork belly on top of bread. Name another one. This is how they invented the late night munchie meals, right? It's pretty much just like name anything.
String cheese.
Okay, put string cheese on top of that pork belly, on top of that bread filled with butter. Next.
It's pork rinds. I don't know.
We love pork rinds. And then we're going to put just some tater tots on top,
some
hope
jelly?
the sandwich, and some jelly, and hope the sandwich holds. There you go, late night munchie meal. Good luck without,
And
dying.
it's $7. Is
Huh?
that? Is it pretty cheap, or is Jack in the Box expensive? I don't know.
It is cheap.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And well
no, it's for poor people. It's for drunks. It's for drunk poor people.
Okay.
It's no
I'll
Carl's
take that as a
Jr.
title.
It's for like who you can convince that what drive-through can you convince the Uber driver to go through on your way home.
And it's on me. It's okay. So, what about a fancy meal that you might take yourself out for? Like, is there any sort of like what I like to do is I like my favorite. I have a lot of. I like to eat out. I like to. I like to have people. I like to sit down and have somebody come and talk to me. Today, I was sitting at the hotel on the fourth floor, and the waiter was new to I think being out, and so the service was not great. But what I do like, but I do like. I like.
I was there with you.
Korean food. Yeah.
Oh, no, okay.
I don't. Well, no, I
names.
digressed. I weeded off. I was just going to say that one of my favorite things to do is to find a great Korean restaurant in a town, because there's a spicy beef stew that I'm going to mispronounce that's called Yukaijang that will cure a cold you do not have. I think it will cure COVID. I think it will cure all the things. And it's got glass noodles, and it's got shredded beef, it's got vegetables, and it's spicy, and it's a delight. So that is my favorite, one of my favorite when you go out that is not expensive. That is just a sort of a, I could eat that 3 times a week. How about you? Do you go out to eat on a regular basis?
I do, yeah. Not fancy.
No.
Anyway,
Well,
I had
actually-
put it in my head that we were gonna talk fancy, so I was
sure.
gonna be like, "Guy, Chris, I'll think about it. I'll see what the answers are, and then I'll see. I'll try to level up.
Right.
But shoot, we're talking
Anywhere. A
my
diner?
language now. Yeah. Oh yeah, to go out to eat. Oh, I really like Japanese comfort food. So like Japanese curry and like katsu, which is like breaded pork or
yeah,
chicken
yeah.
or something. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I eat that.
You'll have that because there is a place by my house called Hanabishi that has a very good katsu.
Oh, really?
Where it has both beef and chicken, and then it comes with a brown curry sauce, and then there is rice. Is that what you're talking about? Is that the comfort food of?
Yeah, that
you were
is- yeah,
I don't
let's
get
go.
it. My husband gets it.
Yeah,
I usually get the ramen, but
That's comfort food too.
That's- yeah.
It's all stuff that I ate as a kid that like my dad made. Yeah, and that's a darker story.
Well, did he make his own noodles? Did he coddle his own eggs?
No, where do you think I learned to make
not
it, keep
cook.
it simple?
Yeah. Where did you learn to not cook? From your dad?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. He'll just kind of yeah.
He opened up
I'm
some
trying not to go
boxes.
into it. Yeah. I'm like, yeah.
You don't need to have a huge reveal here. You can go on
No,
a
for
different
sure.
podcast for that.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
I think Paul Tompkins. Yeah. So, okay. So do you have a favorite place in Los Angeles that you go to that you enjoy such a meal?
It used to be this place called Curry House, but sometimes
right.
in life, freaking things get taken away, that you love, and it closes down, of course.
Right. That's
one
over by
place.
UCLA, right? Curry House.
There's one near UCLA. It's a chain, kind of worldwide,
Yeah.
I think, and it just shut down.
They did the stone bowl curry that
Yes.
gets like crusty on the bottom. That's good.
I know, and it's gone, just like my dad.
Right.
Oh no, I was trying to. Curry and my dad. It's like a same topic.
They go together. They go together. Like,
yeah.
And how about yourself, Guy Branum?
Jackie Cation, requesting permission to go full fancy.
Go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I started working for sitcoms, I was like desperately trying to keep my job, and I found out that all of the other writers on the show I was working on, they like competed to see who could go to the most fancy restaurants from this list in LA of fancy restaurants. And so I, on my like meager staff writer's income, which is still a lot of money, would just try to go. So I had something to talk to them about, which started a real addiction that culminated in me going to San Pellegrino's best restaurant in the world, which is at the corner of France, Italy, and the ocean.
Wow.
And it was the guy I went with refused to take the rest of our trip. He was in platonic trip. He was Instagramming constantly, and when we were there, I was like, "Why aren't you taking photos?" And he was like, "This is 1% shit. Like this could get me killed."
Wait, so you flew to another country to go to the fanciest?
No, I was going to be in France, and then I was like, "Should I go to the best restaurant in the world?" Yes.
Wow.
And
You're not wrong.
here's the thing: Hacks, the HBO Max series Hacks, asked me if I would do a 1-week development room. It is the writing job I want most on the planet. And I was like, no. I have reservations at Mirazor. I have already paid to eat at Mirazor. I am going to Mirazor. So what started as a way of keeping writing jobs cost me a writing job. The entire meal was flower themed. Everything I ate was the most delicious thing I had eaten on the planet up until that point in time. There were 2 separate courses that were lobster, but that's okay because they're called different things in French. And then...
And prepared differently?
Oh, yes, absolutely. It was
It was boiled, and then the other one was steamed.
No, it was like a cream of nasturtium leaves with one of them. It was ridiculous. Oh, it was like squid and apricots that had been treated like they were umeboshi. Like it was magnificent. And then we got to the dessert.
That's a pickled plum, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, everything magnificent. And then we get to the dessert, and I'm like, this is weird. It was like honey themed, but it wasn't sweet or floral. And it was like clearly a lot of work went into it, but I was like, what the fuck is this? This is interesting, but it's not good. And then 3 days later, I went to Corsica, got out of the plane, smelled the air, and I was like, oh, it's this.
What?
Like, it was a dessert that evoked a memory I didn't have yet.
No, that's crazy.
That's amazing.
That's why you drop $1,000 on dinner.
Best restaurant in the world. So
Thank you.
is this like molecular gastronomy? Is that what you're describing?
It was like some of it, there was like
dessert?
some molecular play, but this was more like Moro Calagreco is like, I'm Argentine and I live in France, and you can see the garden where I harvest the food to feed you.
Right.
Like it was magnificent. They served us bread with a poem.
Yeah, I was gonna.
I used to shit on everything you just said, like all the time. Someone said to me, "Bread with a poem," I'd be like, "God, I'm gonna You'll get the guillotines. Now I've been to like 3 fancy restaurants, not as fancy as that, but like fancy, and that's all I want now. Like if you don't have to explain the proper way to eat the thing in front of me, I'm like, get this poor food away from me. I don't even know what you're.
Well, some of it's
Where's the foam? I need a foam.
I would bet too some of these like fancy things like actually come from poor practices. Like,
Always.
It's very poetic, you know.
Always.
Bread with poem? That's like what my grandma
No,
did
it was
that
literally-
to
it's
my
his-
grandpa before he went off to war.
It's
You
his
know, so
grandma's-
Here's your lunch. Yeah.
It's his grandma's bread recipe. Like it is
Yeah.
his poor
I'm
Argentine
sure.
grandma's
Right?
bread recipe.
Probably, and then like the nostalgia, like we need that, you know, because memory goes away, and it's like about, you know, or whatever, like.
Oh yeah, no. White people found about oxtail and ruined a lot of black people's holidays
Sure,
for
right.
sure. Because that's just expensive now. I was gonna make oxtails for my fiance and her family. They're white, love them. They hadn't had it before, and I make a nice red wine braised oxtail, and that was like, oh, this is gonna be your present because this shit is expensive now.
There's a TV show on Netflix, R.I.P. It's called Flavorful Origins, and it is they go around China, and it's only 15 minutes an episode, and it's the most beautifully shot TV show I've ever seen in my life. And they go to different provinces in China and ask people about their food. And what I learned was that poor people food gets turned in, because every country has had people say to their poor, you get nothing. You get nothing, you get nothing. And then someone's grandmother has had to create something that was delicious, and then 12 years later, it's $26 a plate.
Yeah.
So this is true of chitlins. This is true of, there's an Armenian food called sarma, which is, it's dolmades. That's what the Greeks call it, I think. It's grape
rice.
leaves. Yeah, it's grape leaves.
And Jackie, what did your grandmother call it if it didn't have meat in it?
Yalanchi sarma, which means liars.
What?
Because sarma is the Turkish word for wrap, and sarma has essentially a ground meat with rice and parsley and onions and these things. And if it didn't have it, my grandmother called it yalanchi sarma, and it means liar's wrap because she had been tricked into eating something with. She was like, I know that there's ground beef in this country, and so I don't know why you're going to spend 2 hours wrapping grape leaves, and you're not going to. But grape leaves, of course, like you can't eat the grapes, you can only eat the grape leaves, right? My father's favorite food, his comfort food when he was a kid, was something called cash, I think it is. And all it is you boil a chicken down to nothing, and then you mush it up with some rice, and then you give it to people, and then they don't die. So, but I think it's about $26 a plate at a Turkish restaurant somewhere. Anyway, so what fancy restaurants have or what's one of your favorite restaurants right here in Austin?
Right here in Austin. I think the thing we did the most during the pandemic is probably Kome, which is a Japanese restaurant. Great katsu, great curry, sushi, they do all this stuff. They are still only doing curbside because they're just like, no, we're the only restaurant that still thinks COVID exists. So we can only get curbside. But I learned in the pandemic, sushi is maybe the best to-go food if you live within like 10 minutes. Yeah. It's like, it travels perfectly. I love it to pieces. So that's like a go-to. But yeah, we've been going to like Uchi and Uchiko, been going to 4 times in the last 7 years. Let me not talk big about myself, but like, yeah, we go to, those are like treat yourself restaurants, you know what I mean?
Right, completely.
Yeah.
It's I went to a restaurant here that was over by your Terry's barbecue, and I think it's called like I was telling you about it. It was like El Alta or something.
El Alma, sure.
I had a chili relleno that was stuffed with pulled duck. Duck chili relleno.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And then they had a pumpkin seed mole that looked like it was to die for as well.
I have a question about ducks. So, no, I do.
in general,
Truly, 'cause
Changing
I
the
feel
topic.
like I'm amongst people that would know this.
Okay.
And I've asked my husband, I've asked my grandma, she doesn't know.
Okay.
So duck is like a delicacy, or like, it's, I would say, kind of. It depends where you get it. Sometimes
it's not common. It's not common like
or
chicken
it's
is
not
for
as
sure.
common,
Yeah,
right?
Right.
But when you go to the lake and stuff, right? And there's like, no,
There's a
I'm
lot of
telling you,
ducks?
like in Echo Park, like near where I live in Los Angeles, there's just a ton of ducks. And like, you know, when I go to a Chinese restaurant, I'm half Taiwanese, you know, it's always like a nice thing to get like the Beijing duck and stuff. But I see, what I'm saying is it different ducks? Like, you know,
It is
the ones that
100%. It is different ducks, but also the ones we are treating as fancy are worse. I am now going to segue into 2 brief anecdotes.
Okay.
The first one is
No, thank you. I need this.
I grew up in rural Northern California where everybody hunted all the time, and I hated it because it meant my dad waking me up at 4 a.m. and then me having to go fall down in a rice field somewhere. But then there came a point when I was an adult when I missed having the game meat like that, and I had my dad or my niece actually get me some ducks that her friend had shot, like high school student friend, and I gave a couple of them to my friends, nice gay guys living in West Hollywood. And when they were preparing them, they called me upset.
Whoa.
And they were like, "Is it okay to eat this?" And I was like, "Why?" And they were like, "Well, it's all bruised up the side and like the wing is broken or something like that." And I was like, "Yes, that duck was murdered. That duck like was violently killed, and so there are going to be some marks from that." But the other side of that is, I grew up eating pheasant all the time. I hated it. Like one year, my mom was like, "Guy, you're getting something special for your birthday," and I was like 7, and I was like, "What?" And the answer was to go fucking pheasant hunting with my dad because my birthday was always the first day of pheasant season. Point is, I bought a
That's
pheasant.
in your book.
Yeah, yes. Thank you for promoting my
Buy
book,
his
Okatsuko.
book.
Guy Branum has a book out, you guys.
But I went to the Chinese market in LA and I bought some pheasants and I cooked them and I ate them and I was like, "Oh, this pheasant worked an office job." Like you can, like pheasants that like go out and like live in rice fields, they taste like the rice field came alive. Like they are full of life and energy. And like, you know, that step 3 chicken does taste better because it got to, you know, like
It had
go
options.
hiking.
It had
options.
But
Those are my anecdotes. Thank you.
wow, yeah, thank you, guys.
We were once in Wisconsin. Some of our neighbors would sometimes give us venison, and we didn't want it. So they stopped eventually. There you go. That's my
So
anecdote.
it's just how they eat?
No, there's a lot of hunting that's happening in the middle of this country.
Yes,
And-
but the
eats.
ducks,
Yeah.
like the fancy ducks that you get at a Chinese restaurant, they are like force fed so that they are so fatty. Like I would periodically ask my mom for advice about how to cook ducks, and she doesn't know how to cook a duck that came from a restaurant. Or from a grocery store. She only knows how to cook a duck that like barely survived.
Oh, right, because then you've got to add a lot of extra fat and other.
Yeah, she's like, "You got to wrap bacon around that thing," but I'm like, "This thing is bacon. Leave it alone."
Right. Yeah, my favorite. I love duck. But I only love Chinese duck. Though the French do a good duck. Anyway, it turns out I like duck. But I like a Cantonese duck. I like a duck soup, and then I don't mind a Peking duck, though it seems very busy. Like there's like to go out for Peking duck means that you're spending an hour waiting for them to make the duck.
Yeah.
When you go out for Cantonese duck, they're just literally hack job on some poor duck. I don't understand. Here's what I've never understood about a Chinese restaurant and the carving of duck.
Let me try my best to answer.
Okay, I'm just kidding. Please do. If you could speak for the half of you that's Taiwanese, there's because when you cut up a chicken, you cut it at the joints, right? So you separate when you carve a chicken, from the joints, and when you cut up a duck for some reason in a Chinese restaurant, you use a meat cleaver and you have a grudge. It's just bam, 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 and then you have to eat it with chopsticks, and you're like, there's a lot of nom, 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 and then spit out some bones, and so, yeah, you got any answers?
What
would your father
I didn't
say?
think I knew any of this.
Okay.
I kind of just show up. Like, you know, I'm not there for the process. I just show up.
You're not there for the process. You're there for the eating.
Oh, yeah, it'll come out on the plate, and I go, here's $20.
That's the exchange of goods and services that's happening there.
Yeah, so I
Okay.
didn't, yeah.
I've never tried to cook a duck in my. Though here's the thing, Guy Branum will sometimes. Well, is it a Passover dinner? What are you doing?
It's a Passover Seder.
a
So
Passover-
it's a dinner and a talk show at the same time.
Of course. Do you do a play?
Oh, yes. You have to. There's this thing called a Haggadah, which is a script. And I, of course, as a comedy professional, have to make mine hilarious and adorable.
Yes.
And so I do that, but that means that many years I just skip the process because it costs thousands of man hours to produce.
Fair enough. But you, so this is a big meal that you prepare for others.
Yes. For all of my Seders, I pick one diasporic Jewish community. Jews of the Caribbean, Jews of Syria, and I do weeks to months of research to figure out what they were eating on a holiday. Allow me to explain all Jewish holidays to you. People tried to kill us. They only mostly succeeded. So now we eat or we don't eat or we eat in a weird way. And on Passover, you have to eat shitty food. Like you can't have anything with like leavened bread in it, which means I'm not only figuring out how the Jews of the Caribbean ate, but it's how the Jews of the Caribbean ate for this 1 week when they couldn't have bread. And then I like desperately overproduce a meal and it's a dazzle every time. There's a chapter about it in my book, as Atsuko mentioned.
My Life as a Goddess by Guy Branum. Now available. It's been available.
Chris Cubas, have you ever cooked for a large number of people?
No. I don't think I have, honestly. Here's the problem. I
'Cause
cook
you're new to it,
large amounts of food. That's what I always fuck for 2 people. Because I don't know how to. That's the one thing with reading from a recipe. I can't do fractions. I don't do math. So, like, I can't cut this recipe in half if it's calling for a third of a cup of something.
Okay.
So everything I serve is for like 6. Everything I make is for 6 people, but
Okay.
there's only ever 2 of us.
Right, and then there's rice and beans that you make for 6,500.
Sure, yeah, but
And,
that's different. That's,
so that is
yeah.
different. But so is there? Because the only thing
I made like tonkatsu ramen from scratch.
Oh, wow.
I made
The noodles and everything?
A whole except for the fish cake. I bought the fish cake, but
Okay.
like I got bones and cooked those down for 24 hours to make the thing and did all that stuff. So I do big elaborate things, and then it's just me and my fiance looking at each other across the same table while Netflix is playing. Like, oh yeah, this is good. Thanks.
I think that's the part that I have to get over. You gotta love the process.
Yeah.
Because I do eat in 5 minutes.
Right.
Right? So like the prep and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I have to, I don't think I'm there yet with maturity maybe, where I can go, no, you enjoy cooking that thing for 2 days.
Yeah.
You know, even though you scarf it down in 5 minutes.
Right. The only thing I've done, I've had barbecues where I always think there's not gonna be enough food. Yeah. So I've invited maybe 20 people to my house to have a grill. You'll all be invited, as anybody who wants it. Anyway, so come on over. So, but the thing is, so we're gonna grill some things. We might grill a salmon. We'll definitely grill a chicken or two. But when people show up, I want there to be chicken. So I bake 2 chickens before they get there and before we grill so that they can have some chicken while they wait for some chicken. I enjoy chicken so much. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make a calendar of 12 of my favorite chicken recipes. Oh, wow. And I've been working on it for about 20 years. And I've always had 11 recipes. So they swap them out. I swap them out. There's an amazing work is being done with chicken in North Africa. North Africa is doing some amazing work with coriander and cumin. Sometimes, and then there's another recipe that has cardamom, and then there's a mint with lemon and also I believe also some cumin. There is different ways. You know, there's marinades. There's rubs. There's something that could take a day. There's something the chicken of the gods just takes the minute to make. And then when you grill chicken, I am of the opinion that you don't need to do much to it because it's going to taste like charcoal. So all it really needs is salt and pepper. And whenever I make a lot of food for a lot of people, I like to also make a fattoush. But there's so many different kinds of fattoush in the world. My favorite kind of fattoush is a red onion, cucumber, tomato, and garden tomato if you can get them, and then a lot of parsley, and then a little bit of olive oil and just olive oil, and then that is and salt and pepper. Do you guys have a favorite salad?
Look at me.
I don't
potato.
Like
I guess I'm not sure what my favorite salad.
I don't like lettuce at all.
Yeah.
But I do like a salad that has everything but lettuce in it.
I, over the course of the pandemic, went cucumber crazy. That's like an Indian-style salad that's like chopped up cucumber, red onion, tomatoes, cilantro, and then like, garlic and a shit ton of like hot pepper in it, and like a nice amount of lime, and
Ooh, lime.
yeah, and maybe some like chopped masala over that. It's when Los Angeles gets too hot, it is truly a satisfaction.
Can I just digress briefly and say that the country of Mexico has done excellent work with chicken and lime. There we go. Back to salad. You got a favorite salad, Atsuko?
I just started tried to start eating more salads. The Japanese, we're not good at salad. Salad, you ever
Seaweed
eat a
salad?
Japanese salad? You ever go, I want a Japanese salad? There's no Japanese salad.
There's a seaweed salad?
Sure. But is that a salad? That's not really you don't think of that.
I think of it as a salad, but
Would you eat
It's
a bowl of
green.
it for lunch?
oh well, there's that. I'm not eating a bowl. Quite honestly, I'm not eating a bowl of any salad for lunch.
Because people do, right? People eat
People
salad
do.
for like a whole ass meal.
How many people are eating a salad when they go out? They're right there.
Yeah, see?
There was-
Yeah, and your skin is glowing.
I felt like you. Yeah, you do look like you're glowing in the dark here. It's very beautiful. Are you a vegetarian, lady with the green shirt? Because I've seen you just go, yeah. Because there's a lot of meat talk. There's been a lot of dead
No, for
animal
sure.
talk. But there are vegetables that are their favorite vegetables. How about that? There you go.
Sure. What's your favorite vegetable? You seem excited. Give us an answer. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the
A
spot.
green bean, a Brussels sprout. What are we looking at?
A super green. Is that a thing? I don't know. I just recently.
Oh, it's like a
What?
smoothie.
No, because isn't it like kale is a superfood or something?
Oh, yeah.
Because you got to trick.
It's a weed.
We're
It grows in my
adults, but we're
backyard.
still 9-year-olds. Like you
Yeah.
call me a 9-year-old, but we all are. Like you have to trick adults constantly with words like that. Oh, it's super. It's super. You know? Oh, it's not weak. Yeah, I'll fucking eat that. Like you gotta be like, this is a superfood.
If you take kale and
'Cause-
you massage up it with avocado and
Yeah.
a little bit of olive oil or
Yeah.
some lemon,
Yeah, I've eaten that.
That's delicious.
Yeah.
That's not bad. You don't even have to cook it. But I usually end up cooking kale with, and you have to you gotta put some effort into it.
Yeah.
But it's really good with an onion and like a balsamic.
Yeah.
Or rice wine vinegar is also quite nice with a kale.
Well, any of those things your favorite vegetable? I guess you didn't get to answer, did you? Okay.
Huh?
Thank fucking God. There's nothing destroys a dinner party like a vegetarian who doesn't like mushrooms. There is a comedian named Kara Klenk. I love her as a human being.
Yes.
But she vexes every one of my dinner parties by being a vegetarian who does not enjoy mushrooms. And it's like, yes, you are pushing me to the bounds of my genius. Are you making me stronger? Sure. But it pisses me off in the moment.
There's a dork forest with a mushroomier, which is not the word, but someone who picks mushrooms from the ground and then eats them and doesn't die. So my grandmother used to pick mushrooms, and I was like, how do you know that they're not poisonous? And she said, I have a silver dime that I boil one of them with, and if it doesn't turn that dime black, I eat them.
Oh my God, that is so badass.
It is
so
badass,
cool.
and what a crapshoot!
Yeah.
It is a Russian roulette. I don't recommend this at all.
I mean,
You don't get yourself a 1922 dime and run with it, because that's dumb.
No, the lady who avoided the Turks knows how to take on the mushrooms, you know?
Right.
Those people who face death every day,
Yeah.
they're the ones who figured out you can eat this part but not that part.
Yeah.
It's true.
So that's so smart. Like, how would you even know? Like, because before that, it was just
Who died?
whoever died.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what did Brian eat? Hurry! Does anyone remember? What did he fucking eat?
What did Brian eat?
Like, we all go out and we all try things out, and it's like, Brian's dead, and it's like, fuck. Was anyone with him? We can't eat that thing,
Right,
And
right.
so it's like, how would you even know the penny will turn black?
Right,
You
right.
know,
It's. I think if you cook something with a metal and it does turn black, you're like, that's probably not healthy.
Sure, yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. It's but she was out there. She had a vegetable garden. I love a vegetable. Do you have a garden, ma'am? Wouldn't you love one? Yeah. Do you have any herbs? You can do that in a pot. No, all right. But the because the other thing is some people like a green bean. But here's the thing: there's a farmer's market right by, or a farm stand off of Rinaldi off the 405. Anyway, but here's the thing: you buy beans, you spend an hour cleaning beans. Like beans where the clipping off of the ends and stuff. It is one of the most boring things I've ever done in my life, and it makes me not like green beans. Do you have a favorite vegetable, Guy Branum?
I really like
In the preparation?
I like zucchini. It does a lot of good work. I like doing a nice Lebanese style stuffed zucchini. Also, a big okra fan. Just because everyone hates okra, and
I love okra.
I think it's magical.
Yes.
It is magical.
I
You
think
got to
it's
get it
tasty.
small. You got to get them. If they get too big, they get woody. My mother-in-law, her neighbor planted. We had okra for days. We have thousands of okra. My grandmother used to make it, and my other grandmother was super racist about her liking okra, and it was not cool. But she made an okra stew that was slimy but delicious. And but my husband only likes fried okra because all of his people come from Mississippi, and so they bread it and they deep fry it. But I like okra stewed with tomatoes and onions, and then over pilaf, over rice.
Good choices.
I never heard of okra till I moved down. I'm from New York originally, and it was just not a thing I ever heard of. And then I came down here, and they were like, "Oh, have fried okra." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I like fried, and this tastes exactly like fried. I'll eat this. Is there a sauce I can dip? Perfect.
Yeah.
I'll eat this." And then I had like stewed okra for the first time, and I was like, "This is gross. I don't know what. What is this weird
Consistency is disgusting.
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
were not
yeah.
raised with it, or if you were not, I mean, and granted, fear no food, right? You should try all the things.
Yeah.
I like the slime.
I
I have come around on the slime.
Why
I-
every
yeah.
food gotta be dry? What? We gotta, yeah.
Well, I like a moist.
My mouth is dry. I don't have to reach for water. Give me that okra slime. Also, don't you put slime? I mean,
Nope, I don't put
No,
slime in anything.
no.
Whatever you were about to
Does
say,
okra go
the answer's
into-
no.
Did you say you put okra in your
can't-
gumbo?
There is okra, like
In
you
your
can
gumbo.
make okra in gumbo. Some places use it to thicken the gumbo.
Right, I know that from
But
a
yeah.
video game I play on my phone. I want to shout it out really quick. It's called Cooking Dash.
There you go.
Where I play a waitress that also has to cook.
Yeah.
And it's like
Wow, you're running the whole restaurant?
yeah.
Cooking Dash? Okay.
Mhm. I own a Chinese restaurant. I own a New Orleans one, a Cajun one, and a a few other ones.
Interesting. You could branch out. You've kind of is it your phone?
Yeah, it's on my phone.
It's a phone one?
It's on my phone, yeah.
All right.
And customers come in, if you don't cook it fast enough, they get mad and they leave. Anyway, yeah.
Sure. There was a waitress restaurant game that I used to play.
Oh, really?
And I can't remember the name of it, but it was almost like a side scroller because you could play it forever.
Yeah, I think
then-
it's Cooking Dash.
It might be
we were
cooking.
playing-
It
yeah.
might have been called cooking.
Yeah.
All I know is I had to eventually take it off because I would just keep going, and then nothing was achieved.
Yeah, no, same. But that's how I know okra goes into gumbo sometimes.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. All right, now we're getting at the hour. We're at the hour, you guys. Very exciting. There it is. And what are there foods you don't enjoy? That if you, because there are things that I don't enjoy, but if they are served in a meal, let's say, I will eat them anyway, because I'm at someone's house.
I do not like eggplants, and every time I pass eggplants in the grocery store, I'm always like, what am I doing wrong? I feel as though I don't like eggplant parmesan, and that's eggplant that is breaded and fried and covered in cheese. How could a person not like that?
Right.
And I just feel like part of me is like, Guy, you're a fat man. Any food that you're not a fan of, that's probably good for you. But then part of me is like, I love liking things, and I haven't figured out how to appropriately like eggplant, and it makes me sad. And also, before we're done, somebody has to acknowledge for the listeners at home that Atsuko is wearing earrings that are like laminated actual pieces of dragon fruits up for the occasion. And
I am, and Guy
have a
knew
dragon-
immediately. Guy knew
We have a
knows his
dragon fruit
fruits.
plant in our backyard.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, we do. But here's the thing about dragon fruit that a lot of people don't know is that to pollinate dragon fruit, you need a very specific insect that does not exist in nature in Los Angeles. Our neighbor, Ruck, he knows how to pollinate it by hand, you have to finger the flowers. You got to diddle the flowers.
Wow.
And Andy has been trying it, and I'm not saying he's not good with his fingers, but I'm saying it hasn't worked so far.
Dang. They have to do that with panda cubs because panda cubs can't poo on them on their own. So the moms usually kind of their tongues, they kind of have to tap the butt.
To make a panda poop
Yes,
initially?
a cub. So humans have to do that too. Anyway, that's pretend to be the mom. Anyway, it's a whole job out there. The world's a big place, and that's kind of what that having to self-pollinate thing.
Yeah, that's what that reminded me of. Is there a food you do not enjoy?
Not food. I really truly love every food. It's maybe the style, So maybe like that I'm not sure about. It's
That's
more
the
that
way something has been prepared that you're like, I don't know that's going to work
I don't
for
know,
me.
like I don't know about like molecular gastronomy.
Oh, like a
maybe-
foam of just eggplant
There's
foam?
people playing magic tricks on me. I don't really. I don't that kind of
You
style.
don't want a hat full of celery that's been flash frozen and then it breaks in half and all of a sudden birds fly out? No, you don't want that?
I don't really want to be screaming through my meal experience. Now you see this, now you don't. Now you see this, now you don't.
Okay. So you
Yeah.
will eat meats, fish, vegetables, all the
Everything,
foods? Okay.
yeah.
I used to like snails. I do not anymore. I cannot do it. I turned away. I turned away from the snail. No one is offended, including snails. How about yourself, Chris?
I get flack for this, and because very much like you, I'll eat pretty much any food. I don't like spicy food. And spicy, I love spices. People hear that and they go, oh, you like bland food. No, give me all the coriander, all the cumin, all the
Flavor, but
the
you don't
ginger.
like
I love
the
it, but
heat.
why? That is, people eat the hottest pepper in the world. That is a defense mechanism. That plant, they do that so things don't eat it. That's the whole point.
All right.
I don't want a chemical burn while I'm trying to eat these wings.
Do you guys have any questions? Anything we didn't cover? Anybody care? Okay, hang on a second. No, that's all right. Just wanted to make sure, because I always feel like whatever happens at the end of all Dork Forest, someone said, well, did you ask them about where they went to college? And I'm like, no, that would have been great. Anyway, so...
I didn't, if that answers the question.
No, but you could have. And still could. You're still alive. You could dash off to Harvard. You guys, this has been a live episode of the Dork Forest. I would like to thank my guests, Chris Cubas. It's at Chris Cubas on the Instagram and the Twitter. I'd like to thank Guy Branum. It's at Guy Branum on the Instagram and the Twitter. He has a book out. And of course, I would like a round of applause for my friend Okatsuko, and it's at Okatsuko Comedy. And my name is Jackie Cation. You have watched a live The Dork Forest. And you guys that knows the rules out there, take care of each other. Good night, everyone.
My hat, my hat, my hat. They're dancing around my hat. My hat, my hat, my hat. Well, what do you think of that? If it looks like a Mexican hat dance and it sounds like a Mexican hat dance, it's most likely a Mexican hat dance. So take off your hat and let's dance.
Yay! Oh my God. Why don't we just call that as the end of the show?